Anna was a successful businesswoman, known for her determination and impeccable skills in the business world. At the helm of a fast-growing technology company, she was respected for her leadership and strategic vision. Anna dedicated herself completely to her work, often sacrificing her personal life to ensure the company's success. She had an imposing presence, always dressed elegantly and with a confident posture. His schedule was always full of meetings, important decisions, and networking events, leaving little time for personal matters. Lucas, on the other hand, was one of the most promising employees at Anna's company. Young, talented, and full of innovative ideas, he quickly stood out among his colleagues. Lucas worked in the product development department and was known for his creative approach and contagious energy. Despite being at the beginning of his career, he demonstrated a maturity and a sense of responsibility that impressed everyone around him. Lucas admired Anna not only as a boss, but as an inspirational figure, although he knew she could be demanding and expected the best from her team. The relationship between Anna and Lucas, although professional, was marked by an interesting dynamic. Anna appreciated Lucas's ability to think outside the box and bring her creative solutions, while Lucas respected Anna's strategic vision and experience. Despite their different lifestyles and ages, they found a way to collaborate effectively. However, outside of the work environment, they didn't have much contact, and Lucas knew little about Anna's personal life, which she kept carefully private. One day, Anna was invited to an extremely important business dinner organized by a potential investor she had been courting for months. This event was a crucial opportunity to secure a large investment that could further drive the company's growth. The invitation, however, came with an implicit expectation. All guests were encouraged to bring a date. Anna, who had always prioritized her career, did not have a partner or anyone she could accompany to social events. This created a dilemma for her, as she wanted to present an image of personal stability and balance. Upon reflecting on the situation, Anna realized that taking someone as a companion was more than a social formality. It was a strategy to show investors that she had a balanced life, something many considered important in business leaders. She knew she couldn't just go alone without raising speculation or comments. It was then that an unusual idea began to form in his mind. She needed someone who was trustworthy, intelligent, and who could play the role of her companion well, even if it was just a facade. Anna thought of several options, but none seemed suitable until her gaze fell on Lucas, who was focused on his work in a team meeting. He had the looks, intelligence, and charisma needed to play the role of her fictional boyfriend. Furthermore, he was discreet and, as an employee, had a direct interest in the company's success. After pondering for a few days, Anna decided that Lucas would be the perfect choice to accompany her to the business dinner. Anna approached Lucas after a meeting, asking him to stay a little longer. With a hesitant smile, she explained the situation and made the unusual proposal. Lucas, surprised and a little disconcerted, listened attentively as Anna explained the importance of dinner and the role he would need to play. She assured him that everything would be handled with the utmost discretion and that he would receive a generous reward for his help. Despite the initial shock, Lucas realized how important this event was for Anna and the company. Lucas, after a few moments of reflection, accepted the challenge. He knew this was a unique opportunity to gain Anna's trust and possibly advance his career. They agreed to keep everything secret and began planning the details so that everything went perfectly. Lucas committed to preparing, studying more about the role he would have to play and the nuances he would need to capture to make the story seem convincing. With the plan in action, both were ready to face the night of the business dinner, without imagining that this event would take them down a completely unexpected path. In the company's busy corporate environment, Lucas was focused on his projects, immersed in spreadsheets and performance graphs. It was a day like any other, until Anna, his boss, called him for a private conversation in her office. Lucas, a little apprehensive, promptly left what he was doing and followed Anna, curious about the reason for the unexpected meeting. Anna, known for her direct and professional attitude, was about to make a request that would surprise Lucas. As soon as they settled into the office, Anna got straight to the point. She explained the delicate situation she found herself in, an important business dinner with a potential investor crucial to the company's future. Anna, always focused on work, did not have a partner to accompany her, and the event required her to appear with a companion, preferably someone who could pass for her boyfriend. It was a question of image and how it would be perceived by investors, who valued not only professional competence, but also a balanced personal life. Lucas, who was initially calm, was surprised by the request. He never imagined he would be called upon to do something so personal and outside of his usual responsibilities. Anna, noticing his hesitation, calmly explained that she had chosen Lucas because she trusted his discretion and ability to play the role naturally. She emphasized that this was a unique situation and that her help would be extremely valuable. Anna also assured that everything would be kept confidential and that he would receive fair compensation for his efforts. Lucas, still absorbing the unusual request, asked how they should proceed. Anna suggested that they create a plausible story of how they met and the details of their relationship, so that everything felt as authentic as possible. She mentioned that the story should be simple but convincing enough to avoid suspicion. Anna also suggested a few practice sessions so they could prepare properly and ensure their roles were played perfectly at dinner. Although the idea of posing as his boss's boyfriend was disconcerting, Lucas saw it as an opportunity to strengthen his position in the company and show Anna his commitment and loyalty. He knew that if everything went well, he could gain even more trust from Anna and perhaps be considered for more important projects in the future. With that in mind, he accepted the challenge, promising to do his best to help Anna impress investors. In the following days, Anna and Lucas began preparing for dinner. They discussed details like hobbies, personal preferences, and how they met, creating a compelling story they could tell if asked. Anna suggested that they say that they met at a company event and that the relationship grew from there, becoming serious enough for Lucas to accompany her to important events. The preparation even included rehearsals of subtle gestures of affection, such as touches on the shoulder or complicit glances, to reinforce the credibility of the performance. Lucas, in turn, dedicated himself to learning more about Anna's business world and the main points of interest of the investors who would be present. He wanted to be prepared for any conversation that came his way, helping to maintain the facade and showing that he was entirely up to the task. Anna, impressed by Lucas' commitment, began to see him in a new light, recognizing not only his professional skill, but also his ability to deal with unexpected situations. As the day of the dinner approached, both Anna and Lucas felt the pressure increase. However, both were determined to make the plan work, aware that the success of this event could have a significant impact on their careers and the future of the company. With everything prepared, they were ready to face the night, not knowing that this dinner would bring revelations and consequences that would change their lives in unexpected ways. In the days leading up to the business dinner, Anna and Lucas intensified their preparations to ensure that the performance was convincing. They knew they needed to pay attention to every detail, as the guests at the event were observant and perceptive people. In their office, with the doors closed to ensure privacy, Anna and Lucas began to discuss the story of how they met, a narrative that would need to be simple but convincing. They decided to share that they met at a company event, where Lucas had impressed Anna with his intelligence and sense of humor. From that meeting onwards, they began to meet outside of work, discovering common interests and developing a relationship that, although still new, already showed signs of seriousness. To give truth to the story, they agreed to mention activities they had done together, such as walks in parks and visits to art exhibitions, things they both really enjoyed. In addition to the story of how they met, Anna and Lucas discussed how they should behave during dinner to look like a real couple. Anna suggested that they adopt small gestures of affection, such as complicit smiles, subtle touches on the arms, and prolonged looks, which would help reinforce the idea of intimacy. Lucas, although a little nervous about the idea, agreed that these details would be crucial to convincing the guests. They even rehearsed some of these interactions to make sure everything felt natural. During rehearsals, Anna and Lucas also discussed how they would answer questions about their relationship. They knew that some guests might be curious or even skeptical, so they needed to be prepared for questions like, "How long have you been together?" or "What are your plans for the future?" They decided that, for these questions, they would answer in a relaxed and open way, highlighting that they were enjoying the moment and letting things flow naturally. Anna took care of all the details of the event, from choosing the clothes to preparing Lucas for conversations about topics of interest to investors. She knew that both of their appearances needed to be impeccable and that Lucas needed to be prepared for business discussions should they arise during dinner. Anna chose an elegant dress, while Lucas was advised to wear a suitable suit for the occasion. The idea was that both convey an image of sophistication and confidence. During one of the final rehearsals, Anna and Lucas shared a moment of relaxation and laughter, breaking some of the tension they felt. Anna, normally very private about her personal life, began to open up more to Lucas, sharing stories about her career and some of the difficulties she faced along the way. Lucas, in turn, spoke about his ambitions and how much he admired Anna for her determination and success. This moment of mutual vulnerability helped strengthen trust between them. As the day of the dinner approached, Anna and Lucas felt a mixture of anxiety and excitement. They knew they were well prepared, but there was still uncertainty about how the night would actually unfold. Anna, in particular, was aware that, in addition to impressing investors, she needed to manage the perception that coworkers and business partners would have of her personal life. For Lucas, this was an opportunity to show his loyalty and perhaps gain more visibility in the company. Finally, the day of dinner arrived. Anna and Lucas met at the office for one last briefing, reviewing all the details and reinforcing their plan. Anna looked at Lucas with an expression of mutual trust, and he returned a smile, signaling that he was ready for the challenge. They were aware that that night could be decisive for both their futures, not only professionally, but also on a personal level, which they had not yet fully understood. With everything prepared, they were ready to face the business dinner and any surprises it might bring. The business dinner took place in an elegant restaurant known for its sophisticated ambience and exquisite menu. The place was full of coworkers and business partners, all dressed up for the occasion. The atmosphere was formal but lively, with conversations about the latest market trends and future projects. For Anna, it was a crucial opportunity to strengthen alliances and impress potential investors. Lucas, by her side, was determined to help Anna maintain a perfect image. Anna and Lucas arrived together, carefully orchestrating their entrance to appear natural and relaxed. Anna, in an elegant dress that highlighted her imposing presence, looked impeccable, while Lucas, in a well-tailored suit, exuded confidence. They exchanged smiles and greetings with those present, maintaining the posture of a well-connected couple. From the beginning, both were attentive to details, from body language to interactions with guests, to ensure their facade was convincing. The night started peacefully. Anna and Lucas integrated themselves perfectly into the conversations, demonstrating a synergy that surprised those present. During dinner, they sat side by side, exchanging glances and small gestures of affection that reinforced the narrative of a couple in love. Anna, normally reserved, seemed at ease next to Lucas, and he, in turn, seemed completely involved in the discussions, contributing in a relevant way whenever necessary. The chemistry between them was undeniable, and it didn't go unnoticed by the other guests. As the night progressed, Anna introduced Lucas to several important investors, highlighting his intelligence and skills. Lucas, prepared for the occasion, proved to be a competent interlocutor, talking about business strategies and innovative ideas for the company's future. He knew that, more than just maintaining the appearance of a relationship, he needed to demonstrate that he lived up to Anna's standards and the highly competitive environment in which they were located. During dinner, the conversation flowed naturally between business topics and more personal issues. Lucas knew how to balance the seriousness of the discussions with a touch of humor and relaxation, something that Anna appreciated and which also helped to alleviate the natural tension in the environment. The combination of his trustworthy appearance and his ability to communicate effectively earned Lucas the sympathy of many of those present. For Anna, this acceptance was a relief, as it demonstrated that her choice had been the right one. At various times, Anna and Lucas were asked about their relationship. They narrated their made-up story perfectly, giving the impression of a couple who knew each other deeply and shared a genuine connection. The descriptions of how they met and their common interests flowed convincingly, with Lucas complimenting Anna's statements in a natural way. This impeccable performance eliminated any doubts that might have arisen among the guests, ensuring that the main focus of the evening remained on business and investment opportunities. However, despite the apparent tranquility, there was a slight tension in the air, a subtext of curiosity about the couple. Anna felt this when one of the investors, an experienced and insightful man, asked her a series of more personal and specific questions about their lives together. Lucas, maintaining his composure, responded confidently, with Anna supporting him with every word. They both knew that any hesitation could raise suspicion, so they continued to play their roles with precision. As dinner drew to a close, Anna and Lucas exchanged a look of relief mixed with satisfaction. They had managed to not only keep up the charade but also create a positive impression among investors and colleagues. The night had been a success, and they both felt that the effort had been worth it. However, little did they know that this impeccable performance and the unexpected chemistry between the two would trigger a series of events that would change their lives in ways neither of them could have predicted. As the business dinner progressed, the atmosphere in the elegant restaurant remained lively and engaging. Anna and Lucas were immersed in conversations, deftly navigating between professional topics and occasional personal questions. The night was going so well that they both began to relax, confident that they had managed to fool everyone with their impeccable performance as a couple. However, the successful mood began to change when an unexpected situation arose, threatening to expose the entire farce. It all started when a new group of guests arrived at the restaurant and were introduced to those present. Among them was a middle-aged man named Eduardo, a well-known businessman in the technology sector. As soon as Eduardo was introduced to Anna and Lucas, his gaze fixed on Lucas with an expression of growing curiosity. Lucas, feeling the intense gaze, maintained his composure, but couldn't help but feel uncomfortable. Eduardo, clearly surprised, finally broke the silence. "Lucas?" he asked, frowning. "Aren't you that guy I met at the Technology Innovation Seminar last month?" Lucas froze for a brief moment. He had recently attended a technology seminar, but never imagined that anyone from that event would be present at Anna's business dinner. Eduardo continued, clearly intrigued. "You presented an excellent talk on artificial intelligence systems. I didn't know you were in a relationship with Anna." Anna realized the seriousness of the situation immediately. Eduardo's comment might seem harmless, but the fact that he knew Lucas in a purely professional context threatened to reveal that Lucas was not his boyfriend. Anna quickly took control of the situation. With an elegant smile, she replied, "Yes, that's true. Lucas and I met in a work environment, and it was there that our personal relationship began to develop." Lucas, taking a cue from Anna, added, "I think technology has really brought us together in unexpected ways." Despite the quick response, Eduardo seemed even more intrigued. He started asking more specific questions about Lucas and Anna's relationship, like how long they were together and how they managed to balance their personal and professional lives. The pressure to keep up the charade began to increase, and Lucas felt the weight of the situation. He tried hard to respond matter-of-factly, but increasingly he felt that they were being scrutinized with suspicion. The other guests also began to pay attention, drawn by the unexpectedly personal conversation. The situation became delicate, with Anna and Lucas realizing that any slip-up could be fatal to the credibility they were trying to maintain. Eduardo, perhaps unintentionally, was creating a scenario in which Anna and Lucas needed to prove the authenticity of their relationship in front of an attentive public. The tension was palpable, and they both knew they needed to tread carefully. Anna, feeling that the situation was getting out of control, decided to take decisive action. She leaned over to Lucas and, with an affectionate gesture, held his hand. "I know it seems a little sudden to many of you," she said with a warm smile, "but sometimes life surprises us with unexpected connections." The gesture and words were calculated to dispel doubts and reinforce the image of a couple in love. Lucas, feeling Anna's support, shook her hand and smiled back, reinforcing the facade. Finally, Eduardo seemed satisfied with the explanation and changed the subject, relieving the tension. However, the incident made Anna and Lucas aware of how fragile the situation was. They had overcome a difficult obstacle, but they knew they needed to be even more vigilant for the rest of the night. Lucas's unexpected revelation and recognition by Eduardo had been a blunt reminder that, despite all the preparations, the truth was always in danger of coming out. Anna and Lucas left dinner with a mixed feeling of relief and alert, aware that the night was not over yet and that other surprises could arise. After the uncomfortable meeting with Eduardo and the tension it generated, Anna and Lucas knew they needed to act quickly to protect the facade they had created. While the other guests dispersed for more informal conversations, Anna took Lucas to a more private corner of the restaurant, away from curious eyes. Both were aware that the situation could easily deteriorate if they did not find a convincing solution to the suspicions raised. Anna, always quick and perceptive, suggested that they use the situation to their advantage, using the seminar story to reinforce the narrative of how they met. "We can say that we really met at that seminar, and that it was there that we began to take an interest in each other on a more personal level," she said, her mind already formulating the details. Lucas, catching the idea, agreed, realizing that this explanation would not only reinforce the authenticity of their relationship, but also justify his presence at the dinner as someone with a deep understanding of the company's business. They returned to the main group, where Eduardo was still present, talking to other investors. Taking advantage of an opportune moment, Anna, with a confident smile, resumed the narrative. "We were talking about how Lucas and I connected in an unexpected way at the technology seminar. It was a surprise to discover how many common passions and interests we have, especially in artificial intelligence and innovation." Lucas added, "That's right. The conversation was so engaging that it ended up leading to more meetings outside of work, and here we are." This explanation seemed to satisfy the doubts of Eduardo and the other guests, who nodded understandingly and resumed their conversations. However, the confrontation with Eduardo and the need to improvise made Anna and Lucas reflect more deeply on the situation they found themselves in. After dinner, as the event was ending, they decided to leave a little early to avoid any other complications. On the way back, Anna suggested that they go to a nearby cafe to discuss what had happened. At the cafe, sitting at a quiet table in the corner, Anna and Lucas finally relaxed a little, although the tension still hung in the air. They laughed nervously at the situation and how close they came to being unmasked. "I didn't expect someone like Eduardo to be there and recognize us," Lucas commented, still processing the incident. Anna, more thoughtful, replied, "Yes, that caught me off guard too, but I think we handled the situation well. It was good teamwork." The conversation then deepened, as Anna and Lucas began to talk about their personal lives beyond work. Anna shared a little more about her lonely life, explaining how the pressure to maintain a perfect, successful image often left her feeling isolated. Lucas, in turn, spoke about his ambitions and the challenges of standing out in a large company, in addition to his aspirations outside of work. They discovered that despite their differences, they shared a sense of struggling to find work-life balance. This more intimate and honest conversation brought to light a new dimension of their relationship. Anna, always so controlled and distant, began to open up, showing a vulnerability that Lucas had never seen before. Lucas, in turn, realized that the admiration he felt for Anna was transforming into something more complex, mixed with empathy and growing affection. They felt connected in an unexpected way, as if their shared experience at dinner and their need to protect each other had created a genuine bond between them. As the cafe emptied and the night progressed, Anna and Lucas realized that although the charade had begun as a professional necessity, something true and unexplored was beginning to blossom between them. They were both aware that they would need to handle this carefully, especially considering their positions in the company. However, there was a sense that this new connection could be an opportunity, both personally and professionally. With a sigh and a smile, Anna thanked Lucas for his help and support. "I couldn't have done this without you," she admitted. Lucas, smiling back, replied, "It was an interesting adventure, and who knows, maybe it was the start of something more." With that, they said goodbye with a promise to meet at work the next day and deal with any repercussions that might arise. As they walked to their cars, they both knew that something had changed, and that the future now seemed more uncertain and intriguing than ever. After the tense and revealing business dinner, Anna and Lucas decided to meet for a calmer and more relaxed conversation. They chose a cozy cafe, far from the corporate environment and the constant pressure of work. Sitting at a table in the corner, away from prying eyes, they were finally able to relax and reflect on the night's events. The conversation began with nervous laughter about how they were almost unmasked and mutual praise for managing to keep the charade intact. Anna, who was normally reserved about her personal life, began to open up more. She spoke about the constant pressure of maintaining a perfect image, both at work and in her social life. Anna confessed that she often felt alone and disconnected, unable to allow herself to be vulnerable. Lucas, listening attentively, felt a new empathy for Anna. He never imagined that behind the facade of a successful businesswoman there was someone who also faced insecurities and fears. The conversation then delved into more personal aspects. Lucas shared his own experiences of feeling overwhelmed and trying to prove his worth at the company. He talked about his ambitions and how he often felt like his life was in a constant race to achieve professional goals, leaving little room to explore his personal interests. Anna identified with Lucas' feelings, remembering when she was starting her career and the constant pressure to stand out. As the conversation flowed, they both began to realize that there was something more than simple camaraderie between them. The relaxed atmosphere of the cafe and the lack of formality at work allowed Anna and Lucas to see each other in a different way. Lucas, especially, noticed how Anna became more animated and relaxed when talking about her personal interests, something he had never seen in work meetings. Anna, in turn, began to admire Lucas' sincerity and enthusiasm. A sense of mutual attraction began to emerge. Although the relationship had begun professionally and, to some extent, artificially, the night had revealed an unexpected compatibility between them. Anna realized that, behind the facade of a competent and strict boss, there was a woman who longed for connection and understanding. Lucas, who initially saw Anna as just an authority figure, now saw her as a complex and fascinating person, someone he could relate to on a deeper level. The conversation at the cafe continued, with Anna and Lucas exploring this new dynamic between them. Anna confessed that, despite her professional attitude, she had felt nervous during dinner, especially when Eduardo almost unmasked them. Lucas admitted that he also felt a wave of nervousness, but that the experience brought them closer together in an unexpected way. They laughed about the little details they had to remember to maintain the facade of being a couple, and how those details now seemed less important in light of the genuine connection they were developing. Throughout the conversation, both began to consider the implications of this new attraction. There was a mix of excitement and apprehension, especially considering their positions in the company and the need to maintain professionalism at work. However, neither of them could deny the chemistry they felt, and it brought a new complexity to their relationship. They knew they would need to be careful, but they were also curious to see where this new dynamic could take them. As the night progressed and the cafe began to empty, Anna and Lucas realized that something significant had changed between them. Their mutual attraction was undeniable, and they were both eager to explore what this could mean for the future. With a smile and a touch of hands, they said goodbye, promising to meet again to continue the conversation. As they walked away, they both knew they were at the beginning of something potentially exciting and transformative, and that the next step would be figuring out how to balance their feelings with their professional responsibilities. In the days following the business dinner, Anna and Lucas found themselves immersed in a confusion of feelings. The revelation of a mutual attraction left them disoriented, especially considering their positions in the company and the unusual nature of how it all started. At work, both maintained a professional facade, but in moments of pause and exchange of glances, there was a palpable tension and curiosity about what the future might hold. Anna, always so rational and controlled, found herself distracted, reflecting on her interactions with Lucas. She questioned whether what she felt was real or whether it was just a reaction to the stress and forced intimacy of the situation that brought them together. At the same time, Anna felt a new excitement, something she hadn't experienced in a long time. She considered whether she should give these feelings a chance or whether it would be more prudent to keep her distance, to avoid complications at work and in her personal life. Lucas was also at an emotional crossroads. He had always admired Anna as a boss and leader, but now he saw in her a complex and interesting woman who awakened deeper feelings than he imagined possible. He was torn between the desire to explore these feelings and the fear of complicating his position in the company. Lucas knew that a relationship with Anna could be seen as inappropriate or conflictual, but the attraction he felt was undeniable. Determined to explore this new dynamic, Anna and Lucas began meeting outside of the work environment, in discreet places where they could talk and get to know each other better. They chose to keep everything secret, aware that they needed time to understand how they really felt before making anything public. In these meetings, they talked about their lives, ambitions and fears, discovering a compatibility that went beyond what they had experienced until then. These encounters brought to the surface issues and feelings that both had repressed. Anna, used to being a figure of authority and control, found in Lucas someone with whom she could be vulnerable. Lucas, in turn, discovered a new side of Anna, softer and more accessible, which attracted him even more. The conversations flowed easily, and the chemistry between them intensified, creating a connection that was both exciting and frightening. However, the confusion of feelings also brought insecurities. Anna questioned whether Lucas was really interested in her as a person or if it was a reaction to the unusual context in which they found themselves. Lucas, on the other hand, wondered if he was just impressed by Anna's power and confidence, or if there was something deeper. Both had concerns about how their possible relationships might be perceived by colleagues and how it might affect their careers. As they continued to meet, Anna and Lucas began to discuss these concerns openly. They agreed that no matter what happened, they needed to be honest with each other and maintain clear communication. They decided to continue exploring their relationship, but cautiously, ensuring it didn't harm their professional lives. This thoughtful approach allowed them to build a foundation of mutual trust, which is essential to any relationship. As the days went by, Anna and Lucas realized they were truly in love, but they knew they needed time to understand how this would fit into their lives. They continued to meet, exploring this new phase with patience and respect for both their limits. For Anna, it was an opportunity to open up and allow herself to feel vulnerable, while for Lucas, it was a chance to show the depth of his feelings. So they began planning for the future, hoping that they could find a way to balance their careers with their growing passion for each other. In the days following the discreet meetings, Anna and Lucas realized they were at a crucial decision point. The charade they started at the business dinner had turned into something deeper and more complex, and they both knew it was time to decide if they were willing to take the relationship seriously. However, this decision was not simple as it involved considering the risks and consequences of turning their personal connection into a public relationship. Anna, always meticulous and cautious, spent long hours pondering the possible impacts of a relationship with Lucas. She knew that, as her boss, a relationship could be seen as inappropriate or create conflicts of interest, affecting workplace dynamics. Furthermore, Anna was afraid of how her personal life, which she always kept private, could be exposed and judged by colleagues and business society. She also worried that if the relationship didn't work out, it could harm Lucas' career. Lucas, in turn, was equally aware of the challenges. He respected Anna as a leader and admired her career, and feared that a relationship could be interpreted as opportunism or that he was seeking favors. Lucas also knew that he would need to deal with the expectations and pressures of being involved with a high-ranking figure in the company. However, he couldn't ignore the strong feelings he had for Anna and the genuine connection they had developed. Faced with these dilemmas, Anna and Lucas decided to meet for a frank and open conversation about the future. They chose a neutral location, a quiet park where they could talk without interruptions. Sitting on a bench, with the gentle breeze and the sound of birds in the background, they began to discuss their concerns and hopes. Anna was the first to speak, expressing her reservations about how the relationship could be perceived and the possible impacts on their careers. Lucas, listening intently, understood Anna's points but also shared her perspective. He argued that despite the risks, authenticity and honesty should be valued. Lucas highlighted that they were both responsible adults, capable of separating their personal and professional lives and dealing with any challenge that arose. He also expressed his desire to explore the relationship without feeling constrained or limited by social or corporate norms. The discussion was intense, but also revealing. They both realized that despite their concerns, there was a genuine desire to try to make the relationship work. They decided that if they were going to move forward, they needed to establish some clear rules and boundaries to protect their careers and maintain professional ethics. They agreed to be discreet in the workplace and avoid any behavior that could be interpreted as favoritism or conflict of interest. Anna also suggested that, before making their relationship public, they should spend more time together to strengthen their relationship and ensure they were both committed. Lucas agreed, noting that he wanted to be sure that the relationship was based on something real and lasting, and not just momentary emotions. They also discussed how and when they would inform their superiors and colleagues if they decided to make the relationship official. At the end of the conversation, Anna and Lucas felt a mixture of relief and excitement. They had made the decision to move forward, but with caution and consideration. They knew it wouldn't be easy and that there would be challenges ahead, but they were willing to face them together. Their commitment to protecting each other and their respective careers gave them the confidence to take the next step. With a new understanding and a plan in mind, Anna and Lucas left the park feeling closer than ever. They had overcome the uncertainty phase and were ready to explore their relationship with seriousness and mutual respect. They knew they were entering uncharted territory, but they were determined to discover what the future held for them, both as individuals and as a couple. After much reflection and planning, Anna and Lucas decided to publicly acknowledge their relationship. They knew this step would bring challenges and possible repercussions, but they were prepared to face them together. The decision was made on a sunny weekend, during a peaceful walk through the park where they had had so many meaningful conversations. Both felt they were ready to deal with possible criticism and comments from colleagues and superiors, aware that transparency and honesty were essential. The following Monday, Anna and Lucas scheduled a meeting with the company's human resources department. There, they explained the situation and made it clear that they were committed to maintaining a professional work environment. They outlined a plan to ensure there were no conflicts of interest, such as the possibility of Lucas being transferred to another department or working on different projects. HR thanked them for their transparency and promised to support the couple in the transition. After informing the human resources team, Anna and Lucas called a meeting with their closest colleagues. With a mix of nervousness and determination, they announced that they were dating and explained that they were taking measures to maintain professional ethics in the workplace. The reaction was mixed. Some colleagues were surprised, while others had already noticed the growing closeness between them. However, most showed support, appreciating the couple's honesty. The days that followed were a mix of adjustments and new dynamics. At first, there were some tensions, especially with people who were unfamiliar with the situation. Anna and Lucas, however, continued to act professionally, focusing on their work and avoiding any behavior that could be considered inappropriate. The company, in turn, also adopted a supportive stance, recognizing employees' right to have personal lives outside of work. As time passed, Anna and Lucas began to find a balance between their professional and personal lives. Outside of work, they were able to explore their relationship more freely, enjoying moments together that were previously impossible. Quiet dinners, weekend trips, and relaxing nights watching movies became part of their routine, strengthening the bond between them. Anna, who previously maintained a tough and unshakable image, showed a more affectionate and vulnerable side that Lucas loved to discover. In the workplace, both continued to thrive. Lucas was transferred to a new department, where he could focus on his projects without the burden of being directly supervised by Anna. This not only helped maintain professionalism, but also gave Lucas the opportunity to grow and excel in his career. Anna, in turn, continued to lead with effectiveness and respect, earning even more recognition for her integrity and ability to deal with complex situations. The challenges didn't disappear completely, but Anna and Lucas learned to face them together. There were stressful times, especially when rumors and gossip occasionally surfaced. However, with open communication and mutual support, they managed to overcome the adversities. Anna, in particular, learned to better balance her personal and professional life, while Lucas gained more confidence in his position at the company and in their relationship. The end of this journey marked the beginning of a new chapter for both of them. Anna and Lucas showed that despite the unusual circumstances in which their relationship began, love can blossom anywhere, even in the most unexpected contexts. They have become an example of how it is possible to find a healthy work-life balance, and how communication and mutual respect are key to any successful relationship. Anna and Lucas' story is a reminder that sometimes love appears in the most unlikely of ways, but it can be a powerful force for growth and happiness.